Good evening. You're watching news at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV, where the nation turns for truth, clarity, and impact. This is not just news. This is the pulse of the nation. Stay connected. Follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and stream live on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. On the news tonight, Buhari laid to rest in Daura amidst national mourning as Katsina government weeps at the funeral profusely. Taraba State partners with African Industries Limited for scrap metal recycling project to derive innovations and job creation. Senator Pam Denchunyang condemns deadly attack in Plateau North, calls for security overhaul and legislative action. International news. American spy for Russia, Daniel Martindale, granted Russian citizens after aiding military efforts in Ukraine. Business news. Dangote begins approval for Nigeria's largest seaport project in Olokola to boost export and economic growth. Entertainment news. TikTok removes 3.6 million Nigerian videos in first quarter of 2020 account. Sport news. George Jesus appointed head coach of AI Nars as he reunites with Cristiano Ronaldo amidst club's bid for revival. I'm Bridget James, and now the news in full. The remains of former President Muhammadu Buhari were respectively laid to rest at approximately 5:50 p.m. in his hometown, Daura, Katsina State, in Daura, close to the residence of the deceased. The state funeral drew an outpouring of dignitaries from across Nigeria and beyond, reflecting the late president's influence and legacy. Among the prominent attendees were President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who earlier authorized the national mourning period, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Niger and Vice President Kashim Shettima. Also in attendance were former Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, several state governors, including Katsina State Governor Diko Umar Rada, Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum, and Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar III. The Emir of Daura, Dr. Umar Farouk Umar, and key members of the diplomatic corps, including representatives of the United Nations and the African Union Security. It was coordinated by the Presidential Guards Brigade in conjunction with the Nigeria Police Force and Department of the State Service, ensuring a peaceful and dignified ceremony. As his body was gently lowered into the grave within the family compound in Dumurku, heartfelt prayers filled the air. Religious leaders, political associates, military veterans, and ordinary citizens alike offered solemn tributes, seeking Allah's mercy for the late elder statesman.
Our principal demand, wasn't attending the Council of State meeting. Once he's in court, he has his eyes fixed on the court, and he appears in court cases all through. That time, I remember Chief Umeozeoke, one of his lawyers, saying that, look, the man believes in the system, that it's a born-again Democrat. He was described as a born-again Democrat. So in 2007, he followed suit, the same thing, the same pattern, but a lot of Nigerians would say that he was not appealing to the entire country. His candidacy was not appealing to the entire country, that you have to have the spread as stated in the Constitution, that 24 out of 26.
Committal process begins now for former President Muhammadu Buhari. The national flag has been folded and will be handed over to a member family. Concluded now.
The same member by the former president was over.
Be interred. We see some of the dignitaries standing there around the body. It's quite a busy scene there.
May Allah forgive his shortcomings, overlook his human faults, and admit him into a Jannatul Firdaus, the highest rank of paradise. Katsina State Governor Dikko Rada, who shared both a political alliance and a personal connection with former President Muhammadu Buhari, was visibly emotional during the funeral rites held in Daura. As a native of the same state and a long-time admirer of Buhari's leadership style, but the profound respect and sense of loss felt by many in Katsina, who regarded Buhari as a father figure and moral compass in national policies. A similar prayer section was held in Gombe State, where residents gathered in solemn assembly to mourn Buhari's passing. There, citizens remembered him as a leader whose influence shaped national discourse for decades. From his military rule in the 1980s to his two-term democratic presidency, Buhari's presence loomed large over Nigeria's political terrain. Some TV correspondent has the details.
Janaza Gaib, a funeral prayer in absentia for the soul of late President Muhammadu Buhari, was performed in the early morning of Tuesday by Gombe residents at Fantami Stadium in Gombe, the Gombe state capital. The special prayer, marked by solemn reflection, was held in honor of the elder statesman whose passing struck a deep emotional chord among citizens who revered his values and leadership style. In an interview, the cleric who led the prayer section, Ustaz Safiano Umar, said,
"We ask Allah to forgive Muhammadu Buhari, overlook his shortcomings, and grant him Jannatul Firdaus. His contribution to society, especially among the youth, will not be forgotten."
As the prayer concluded, tribal poured in. Mourners described the late president as a man of humanity, integrity, and selfless service, qualities that resonate strongly, especially with the younger generation.
We are here to mourn and to pray for the departed soul of our dear former president, General Buhari, who happens to be a lover of Gombe. And Alhamdulillah, we have shown to the world, to the Islamic Ummah, that we love Muhammadu Buhari, we the people of Gombe. On behalf of everybody, the loving people of Gombe, to pray for the departed soul of our dear former president. Alhamdulillah, that's what we did.
President Muhammadu Buhari, former of late memories, all his entire life, he was a kind of making effort to see that people, more especially the masses, have a kind of a life that will sustain them. He have done a lot, right from the military era to the PTF regime, and when he was president. So at least he have done a lot, even though he have some one or two issues. That we are all humans, we must have one or two issues that at least people will not be happy with them. But averagely, he have done well, and we are still alive to a kind of emulate him in some areas that he have done his leadership in this country.
Inspired us through his character and compassion. Even though he is no longer with us, his legacy will continue to guide us.
Touched by his lifelong dedication to public service and humanity, many call for the creation of Charity Foundation in Buhari's name. The proposed foundation will serve orphans, the poor, and students, echoing the late president's values of compassion and social justice.
Let us honor him, not just with words, but with action. A foundation in his name can carry forward the good he began. We urge his family and supporters to pursue this as Sadaqatul Jariyah.
Though Muhammadu Buhari has departed, the heartfelt prayers, glowing tributes, and unified call for lasting memory. From Gombe, Kamal Hamado, Sun TV News.
In the spirit of innovations and economic transformation, the Taraba State government is charting a bold path by partnering with African Industries Limited to implement the scrap metal recycling project. This initiative aligned with Governor Agbo Kafer's Waste to Wealth agenda, which aimed to convert metal waste into viable industrial product. The project not only tackles environmental degradation, but also promises job creation, industrial stimulation, and the positioning of Taraba as a hub for sustainable innovation. A recent delegation from African Industries, led by Salisu Mohammed, conducted a feasibility tour across Jalingo to assess scrap availability.
A move aimed at promoting sustainable waste management and advancing industrial growth. The Taraba State government is initiating a potential collaboration with African Industries Limited, a key player in steel production and metal recycling. A delegation from the company, headed by Salisu Mohammed, visited Jalingo on a fact-finding mission to evaluate the state's scrap metal potential. Mohammed explained that their visit focused on assessing the availability of scrap metal and discussing a partnership that will convert waste into valuable materials like iron rods, contributing to both environmental restoration and industrial development. The delegation inspected key dump sites and government-owned facilities where metallic waste has accumulated, identifying opportunities for efficient recovery and recycling. Welcoming the team, Honorable Shansen Bernard, Commissioner for Waste Management, called the effort a meaningful step toward realizing Governor Agbo Kafer's Waste to Win initiative. According to him, the project embodies the governor's commitment to removing hazardous scrap while adding economic value. A strategic move set to enhance the economic and revamp waste management practices in the state.
Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovation, they receive an agent of today in respect of our scraps. There are a lot of scrap in the state that they are not useful. So I think His Excellency initiative is about how to build the state. This company, they deal with all kind of scraps. Then they're into recycling these scraps into bulletproof doors, cars, and then iron rods. So these are things that are into African steel, they're into. So today they are here to see which they have get huge result and beautiful result of the products we have in this state. That's the reason why African Steel Agent of Nigeria from India is in Taraba State today.
Officials, a leader in environmental sustainability and innovative industrial solutions.
In a more distressing development, Senator Pam Deng-Chuang of Plateau North has strongly condemned the recent killing on local farmers, disrupting both economic acts, putting 500 electricity transformers across the state, ranking from 500 kVA to 200 kVA units. The transformers are sourced from international manufacturers and form part of a wider strategy to expand access to reliable electricity. Additionally, Kano has begun evacuating power from the newly completed 10 megawatts Tiga hydropower plant, and several renewable energy projects are on the way. Community leaders have praised the initiative, noting its potential to catalyze economic growth and enhance quality of life in undeserved rural areas. Let's take a brief commercial break. We'll be back with more exciting news on Super Media Television. Please don't go away.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in
news. Indian Fauja Singh, widely believed to be the world's oldest miracle in his native village of Bias in Punjab, India, known globally as the Turban Tornado, began competitive running at the age of 89 and completed full marathons up to the age of 100. Though not officially recognized by Guinness World Record due to lack of a birth certificate, his family maintained he was born on April 1st, 1911. Singh gained international fame for his endurance, appearing in Olympic torch relays and global art campaigns. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised him as an inspiring figure whose commitment to fitness influenced generations. An American, Daniel Martindale, who spied on Ukrainian forces to support Russia's military campaign, has been granted Russian citizenship. Russian installed officials announced Tuesday. Mathilda reportedly spent over 2 years in Ukraine under hostile conditions, providing Moscow's secret services with intelligence on Ukrainian military location. Denis Polshin, leader of the Russian-occupied Donetsk, said Matilda proved his loyalty and risked his life to aid Russian forces. Matilda was formally awarded a Russian passport at a ceremony in Moscow and expressed gratitude, calling Russia his home and family. He was evacuated from Ukraine in late 2024 amid fear for his safety, after which he applied for Russian citizenship. A Telegram account attributed to him confirmed his evacuation by Russian soldiers from the area where he had lived. In business news, Aliko Dangote has begun the approval process for a major seaport project in Olokola, Ogun State, which aims to become Nigeria's largest and deepest port. Positioned near his Lekki refinery and fertilizer complex, the port will facilitate exports of fertilizer, petrochemicals, and LNG, while easing equipment imports. Beyond supporting his businesses, the project is expected to attract private investments, create jobs, reduce logistic costs, and boost trade efficiency. Dangote also plans to build pipelines from the Niger Delta to increase LNG exports and start distributing fuel across Nigeria using 4,000 gas-powered trucks. This initiative is projected to enhance Nigerians' export capacity, grow non-oil revenue, and support broader economic development. 8 Nigerian banks recorded a combined 156 billion naira in impairment charges in the first quarter of 2025, reflecting ongoing pressures from inflation, naira depreciation, and credit risks. Zenith Bank led with 49.38 billion naira, followed by First Wholesale, 37.25 billion naira, and Access Holdings, 21.77 billion naira, while some banks saw declines in provision due to recoveries and improved risk management. Others like UBA and Fidelity Bank posted significant increases, signaling rising credit risks. Despite these charges, several banks still recorded profit growth, with earnings supported by rising loan volumes driven by inflation and sectoral demand in manufacturing and oil and gas analysts. They say the mixed trends in impairment reflect varying risk strategies and underscore the importance of strong credit monitoring in an uncertain economy. Entertainment news. TikTok removed over 3.6 million videos from Nigerian users in the first quarter of 2025 for violating its content policies. According to its latest community guidelines, this marks a 50% increase from the 2.4 million videos removed in Q4 2024. The platform reported a proactive detection rate of 98.4% with 92.1% of violative content taken down within 24 hours of posting. It also removed 129 West African account linked to covert influence operations in March. Globally, TikTok removed 211 million videos in Q1 2025, up from 153 million the previous quarter, with over 184 million dictated automatically. The company also deleted 44.7 million fake or spam comments during the period. TikTok reaffirmed its commitment to combating fake engagements and external threats targeting its platform. On sport news, Portuguese coach Jorge Jesus has been appointed head coach of AI NARS, where he would work with Cristiano Ronaldo, who recently extended his contract with the Saudi club until 2027. The announcement by the club on Tuesday via its official X account. Jesus, 70, previously managed Saudi rivals AI Hilal, but was dismissed in May following their Asian Champions League semi-final exit. His coaching career spanned top clubs in Portugal, Brazil, and Turkey. Despite Ronaldo finishing last season as the Saudi Pro League's top scorer with 25 goals, AI now fell short in both domestic and continental competition. And that brings us to the end of the news at 9 p.m. from Sun TV. Now a quick recap of the top stories. We brought you report earlier, former President Muhammadu Buhari was laid to rest in Daura amid national mourning, with Katsina State Governor Dikko Rather seen weeping profusely during the funeral. In economic development, Taraba State has partnered with African Industries Limited to launch a scrap metal recycling project aimed at fostering innovation, job creation, and environmental sustainability. Meanwhile, in Plateau North, Senator Pam strongly condemned the recent deadly attack in Jol Rim and Jebu villages, calling for a comprehensive security overhaul and urgent legislative intervention. On the international front, we reported that American-born Daniel Matilde, who sped on Ukrainian forces in support of Russia, has been granted Russian citizenship in recognition of his action. In business news, Aliko Dangote has initiated the approval process for Nigeria's largest seaport in Olokola, a project set to enhance export and stimulate national economic growth. From the entertainment scene, TikTok announced the removal of 3.6 million Nigerians' videos in Q1 2025 for policy violations, alongside the shutdown of 129 West African accounts linked to covert operations. And in sports, Portuguese coach Jorge Jesus has been appointed head coach of AI NARS, reuniting with Cristiano Ronaldo as the Saudi club set its sight on competition resurgence. Stay tuned for more engaging programs and updates. I am Bridget James. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.
stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way. Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night?